What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 276 of the Aussie Gamers Experience podcast. In the show this week, Fortnite's gone! Everyone panicked, they blew it up! No, I'm just kidding. This week's a bit of a special show. It's all about PAX. I've just been down there, so I'm going to dribble on for a little bit and have a whole lot of fun. Editing Lucas, play the track, mate. Let's go.
This is the Aussie Gamers Experience podcast, the show with barking dogs in the background, sneezing, coughing, and all of those nice little things that remind you that this is not a paid production. Oh, and in between all of that, there's some video game stuff too. Enjoy the show.
Thank you for tuning into the show this week. Today is Monday, the 14th of October, 2019. I'm your host, Snoogs, and joining me for hosting duties this week is the one and only Lucas. How are you, mate?
G'day, buddy. How are you? I'm doing fine.
I'm doing good. I'm still on a bit of a high, even though I'm absolutely buggered. But just that start of the show, did you hear that they blew up Fortnite?
Yeah, what?
They, the map, the entire map's gone. Fortnite is effectively gone right now. You cannot play it. You cannot join it. There is a video on Twitter that 17,000 people are currently watching that is just a picture of a black hole.
Is this intentional?
I would assume it's intentional. Ninja's come out and said, you know, if this tweet gets so many thousand likes, I'll give you an update for Story 2 or something. I don't know what they're calling it, but they're calling it like this is kind of like the big change that everyone's been talking about.
Oh, okay. So maybe the servers had to go down for a bit while they implement all the new stuff, so they've decided to make it part of a story and blow it up or something?
Yeah, it could be something like that.
Yeah, because I did see something that kind of alluded to that, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it because I thought it was just a silly tweet or something, you know. But now you're mentioning it. Oh, okay, something must be going on.
Yeah, it was pretty funny to watch, actually. I watched Delirious, saw it live, and he's always amusing to watch, just the way he carries on. So it was well done, actually. Like there's been sort of this comet that's been floating above the landscape for a little while, and that one took off, and then there was other rockets, and then they used the rifts and everything, and then it all blew up. So check it. It's kind of cool to watch, actually.
Yeah, I'll have a look later.
All right, mate, but this week is all about PAX. PAX has just finished up the annual convention down in good old Melbourne. I spent 3 and a bit days down there, and we're going to have a bit of a chat and a bit of a catch-up, mate. So how about we just jump straight in? What do you reckon?
Yep, absolutely. Let's do it.
Alrighty, first off the block, PAX was absolutely packed.
Oh, really?
It was something like 20,000 people on Saturday, I think they were saying. It was completely sold out on Saturday. Friday was into the 90 percentile, and Sunday was in the 80s. But I've been to a few expos now, but I have never been to something of this size and the scale and the spread, the noise, the people, the cosplay. Everything was just an extra step above anything I've seen before.
Oh, wow. So this is probably the reason why the EB Games Expo fell apart.
Definitely. And just on that, this whole, you know, EB Games being part of PAX.
Yeah.
Yeah, very minor part.
Well, that was one of my questions to you, because essentially the announcement we got was that the EB Games Expo was pairing up with PAX. So how did that work? Yeah, was there anything to do with EB Games, or was it just a store?
Yeah, it was. I honestly think it was just a store. Like looking at it, so it still had, you know, the big setup like the EB Expos that we've been to in the past with all your gaming companies, but that's been there at PAX previously. It's all big, it's over the top, it's noisy. The store, though, was probably, if you think back to when we went to Queensland, right?
Yeah.
I reckon the store was about a quarter of the size that the one in Queensland was.
Oh, okay.
and it had it didn't have. It still had fantastic deals and show specials and a lot of pretty cool stuff in it. But because it was so much smaller, it didn't have them on the scale that was there previously. One thing that if I'd driven down and I wasn't impatient, a Scorpion mask may have come home with me.
Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. So I think it was $650 for the Mortal Kombat Special Edition.
Yeah,
they were selling that for $200.
Oh.
The Division Special Edition, Division 2 Special Edition that I've got the statue for, that was $77. Rage 2 with the talking head Special Edition again was $77. There was what else was there? I didn't spend a lot of time in it because there just wasn't really anything that jumped out to me. Even the pop, like the those pop head things, what are they called?
Pop vinyls.
Pop vinyls. There was just a lot of the same. There wasn't a great range of them.
Yeah, essentially those stores in the past have just been cancelled pre-orders and stuff that doesn't sell.
Yeah. So I'm guessing they're bringing more because there wasn't much. Like there wasn't that big range that I've seen previously. I think it's probably what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
they did have some Spider-Man special editions there, which was cool to see them still floating around.
What did that come with?
I don't know. It was in a little box, and I just sort of looked at it and went, "I've already platinumed you," and put it down. But that was up one end. But what do you reckon we start off with some of the big guys?
Okay.
So we'll start off with my fanboy level, Sony and the good old PlayStation stand. They had a whole lot of VR going with Iron Man VR playable.
All right, yeah.
When I went there, I had organised to do it Friday morning. I caught up and there was one of the guys that was running around like a madman was someone I actually know from Sony and sort of went, "Hey, man, how are you?" And he just sort of looked at me and looked like the life had been drained out of him. And he's like, "It's have you got a try this morning?" And I went, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, it's not working. I don't know why, but it's not working."
So he's in panic mode.
He was in severe panic mode. And I just sort of went, "Don't worry, it's fine. I prefer to just play it at home so that when I fanboy, no one's watching." So that was fine. And he sort of ran off to try and do anything else. And there was a lot of panic around about that. But they got it going and the lines for it did not stop. And everyone that come off it, I watched a few people, couldn't take any video, which is fair enough. It's only early on. But, everyone was raving about it that come off. So it's looking quite good. And just the movement and everything in the demo was really good.
Okay.
Also, the Avengers game.
Yeah. Now, this is something I've been taking a little bit of interest in the last couple of weeks because there's been a little bit of stirring about it not being any good. But I beg to differ. From what I've seen and the information I know on the game, who's making it, I'm quite hopeful that it'll be okay. What do you know?
I can confirm that it will be.
It'll be good or shit.
Oh, no, it will be good.
Yeah, come on. It's Crystal Dynamics.
I can tell you that just... Yeah. I can tell you just now. Like it kind of feels a little like a brawler, but it's only a very early demo that I got to have a bit of a play with. It was sort of like you got to try each of the characters out in this one. It was a timed demo. There was lots of people, so I just had a quick go on the Friday morning when it was we got in an hour earlier than everyone else, and because it was just an hour, it was literally all right, here, have a go, quick, someone else jump on and have another crack. So I only had a bit of a play with it, but I got to I sat back and just watched a lot. I watched a lot of other people playing it, and I can't sing its praises enough. It really looks to be coming together quite well.
Yeah, well, the thing that I keep saying is that it's a Crystal Dynamics game. They made the Tomb Raider games. Like, how could they all of a sudden not know how to make a third-person action game? It's silly.
You can tell that.
It'll be good.
Yeah. You can tell that. It's still got a long way to go, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, hopefully not too long. Isn't it only coming out in February?
Yeah, but that's still in gaming developed. That's still a fair lot of polish that can be put in that time.
Well, that's right. Yeah, because they force these poor bastards to work day and night, don't they? It's like slave labour.
They can punch them through it. Why not? Some other stuff they had Concrete Genie, which I'm kicking myself that I forgot that it came out last week in getting all the preparations ready for PAX. But that looks absolutely amazing. They had the Medieval remaster playing. They had Call of Duty, and they also had the Final Fantasy VII remake. That is stunning. I didn't get my hands on it because I just could not get near it the whole weekend. I didn't play a lot of the bigger name stuff because you couldn't get near them. It was
it was
too intense.
Yeah.
But it just sitting back and watching it and watching the effects and everything that were coming off it, it's stunning. If you like Final Fantasy, it's still Final Fantasy at the core. It's still got all the Final Fantasy core mechanics and everything, so you've got to like that genre. But it looks absolutely phenomenal, and I'll be enjoying playing through it again.
Chances are I probably won't then.
Probably not up your alley. I couldn't finish it. I watched other people play through the original one just so I could get through the story and enjoy the story of it. But this one's supposed to be more like they've tweaked down a lot of the turn-based stuff and made it a bit more like Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, so that side of it should be good. And I think that's it for the Sony stuff off the top of my head. I got to see a 25th anniversary PS4 in the flesh.
Oh, yeah, the grey ones.
And that still looks good. And also one of the 50 million. What were they? The blue crystal-y one.
Yeah.
So many million versions. I think it was the 500 million PlayStation sales or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know the one you're talking about, though.
Yeah. Whatever it was. That looks gorgeous in the flesh too. So that was good to see. Next to them was Ubisoft. Ubisoft had everything that they had at the Ubisoft experience.
Yeah, so absolutely no Splinter Cell by the sounds of things.
No.
What is going on? Oh, dude, I've got it. No, I'm not going to say anything because it's just, I'm a broken record. Every time Ubisoft is mentioned, I whinge and carry on like a little sook about my favourite game that they're not making. I'm just going to stop. This has got to be the end of it.
I did actually think about you at one stage.
Oh, you were thinking of me?
I was thinking about you because Last Dance was playing. What's it? Just Dance.
Just Dance.
Playing.
Yeah.
Just Dance was playing, and the song's on repeat.
Yes.
We've had this discussion when we've been around it previously.
Yeah.
And that just your voice popped up into my head about the 15th time I heard the same song.
Yeah.
And but again, a lot of it amazes me just how many people were hanging around it.
Yeah, so not even the Ubisoft stand forked out for the DLC songs.
It was just, I think it was about 3 on repeat on it. Well, by Saturday afternoon, they all sounded the same.
Yeah.
Over to Bethesda. Bethesda didn't really have a big showing, so to speak. Like they didn't have a big standalone sort of floor space.
Well, they were in the kitchen, weren't they?
Yeah, well, they did the Bethesda lane. They did the Bethesda queue hall. And on Bethesda lane, they had, I think, a pub and a couple of restaurants that were all themed around Doom and Fallout, which were all pretty cool. You got a burger and they'd singed into the top of the burger Doom.
The Doom, the Doom burger thing, yeah.
Yeah, the Doom burgers and whatnot. They were doing whiskey and Nuka-Cola. So there was a whole lot of different theme stuff, which was all pretty cool. But I did get to play Doom Eternal.
Oh, wow. Was it just like Doom?
Yeah, I broke it.
Oh, yes, you did say that. What happened?
I fell through the map. And so when there's like it's another one of those timed demos. I just got to the end of it and everyone's like, okay, time to go, time to finish. And I had literally just jumped into this one section and jumped straight through the map. And I'm like, oh, God, if someone was going to find it, here's me. Because I got a collectible as well. Who would have thought it?
Yeah.
And it was one of the people that were there doing it, that were sort of, ushering people in and out. They're like, what's going on with you? And I went, I fell. And they're like, what do you mean? And I just sort of moved the mouse so it was pointing up. I went, well, there's Mars above me. And I'm just falling into this black abyss, and nothing's happening. I wasn't dying. It was just going. He's like, oh, I should probably find someone from Bethesda and let them know. I said, yeah, just tell them that Pat broke it, and they'll probably understand.
Yeah, good old Dick Fingers Pat.
Good old Dick Fingers, see? Playing keyboard and mouse, and it just fell through. Mate, but like you said, it is Doom. It's just Doom.
Yeah.
It's the same as Doom 16. But it seems to be like the double jump, the meat hook, they add a different sort of element to it. And being able to, like the gore kills and all that sort of jazz, they're different and they're fun. And it's always good when you cut something in half and then stomp on its head.
That's bloody nice, you bloody sicko.
You sadist. So that was what actually started off my Friday, funnily enough. What was next? Next was the Xbox stand. Jump in if you've got any questions, because I'm just kind of running through things off my head I've got a bit of a list in front of me and popping through them all.
Yeah, well, no, tell me about the Xbox stand. What was that like?
It was really well done. It was exceptionally well done. The people at Xbox, like the people at Sony, it was very well set up and it was very well laid out, and you could just wander through and have a look at everything. There were little couches and whatnot to play Dreams on, and yeah, it was well set out. The medieval stuff had the big swinging gate out the front of it, and then you had the Xbox side. Xbox, they had people doing fake tattoos. They had so many games set up. They had actual basketball hoops, like the games you see at Time Zone and stuff.
Yeah,
where you got to you got to do basketball. They had that set up next to people playing NBA 2K.
Yep.
And then there was a claw machine where you could donate towards, can't for the life of me remember the charity, and you can get a go on the claw machine to get. It was for the Lynx deodorant packs.
Oh yeah,
there was some of them. There were some other bits and pieces in there as well, but it was a Lynx based one. And then they had a whole lot of stuff that's coming out on Xbox Game Pass and stuff that's already on there, obviously. And then they've also got their Gears stuff and a little bit of Forza, I believe, was there. I didn't really take that much notice because I focused on one very important part of the Xbox stand, and that was Minecraft Dungeons. It was playable. Oh, okay. And that is such a cool little game. It works. It's just this cool little version of Minecraft, just a little dungeon crawler type thing that you're going around. You've got Minecraft people. You can team up together. You can build yourself a golem. You can wander through. And again, it was only a very short demo, but it was just loads of fun.
It's just Minecraft Diablo, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. That's probably the best way to describe it, yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
I didn't spend a lot of time in Xbox. I was sort of wandering around. I probably talked to more people there just in passing, just sort of chatting to different people that I know from Xbox and whatnot. Nintendo was also there. Nintendo, as you can imagine, was massive. There were so many people waiting to see Luigi's Haunted Mansion 3, I believe, is coming out.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't get to see that. They had a closed room presentation, and they had Sun and Moon. And you will have to forgive me, any Nintendo fan listening along, because I don't know a lot about Nintendo and didn't spend a great deal in there.
That's all right. Nintendo's it's a very specific kind of brand of video game.
Yes.
It is definitely not for everyone. It does cater strongly towards the younger generation, and also just the specific kind of people that like just what they focus on. So it's for you. I completely understand why it wouldn't grab your attention, because I love Nintendo, but I only love about 10% of what Nintendo actually does. So it's, it's a specific breed. Radicus has put in the chat. Nerds.
Nerds. I got to admit, like having the Switch, I really enjoyed my Nintendo Switch, but it's been non-Nintendo stuff that I've played on it most.
Yeah, well, look, that's the majority of the stuff on there is the non-Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, but even like for me, I've got Mario Kart and I've got Mario Odyssey, but I've played more probably Minecraft on it than anything else. Minecraft and Fortnite, funnily enough. Just to switch my brain off and lay in bed and play them.
What sort of cosplay did you see? Anything really cool?
Yes, I saw, such a wide range. People that would just, I saw a couple of Aloys.
Nice.
So much anime that had no bearing on me, but it looked awesome. So much League of Legends stuff. Borderlands was everywhere. They had a Borderlands special sort of cosplay competition where it was actually in the EB theatre. So they had, I reckon probably 80 to 100 cosplayers just in Borderlands gear.
What was the majority of the Borderlands cosplayers? What were they dressed up as?
It was a wide range of everything. So I haven't played a lot of Borderlands, but you had the crazy ones, that just have the orange pants on them.
The psychos.
Yeah. There was a few of them. The girls were ranging from psychos to the warriors that have got the full pads and set up and everything, like the armor all over them. That was probably the biggest one. They got the people dressed up with the armor covering them, and just it looks cool. And the sort of shading style, the cell shading people do on their faces and whatnot, and give it that sort of edge, I suppose you could call it. Yeah. They looked magical. Like, it was just brilliantly done, each and every person that did it. And it wasn't just on the face. They went full body with this stuff.
Yeah, nice.
So they'd be walking around, and if they had, say, a tank top on, it'd be even down the middle of their back, just to give it that sort of edge sort of look, and it was shaded in properly, and there was just a lot of people dressed up like that.
Nice. Have you got photos? Is there photos somewhere?
I don't know if I have a lot of photos of. I probably do. I'll have to dig through. I've got so many photos. We didn't get in until probably 11:30 last night. Our flight was delayed. So I haven't even plugged my phone into my PC yet to upload anything.
All right, but you do have a bunch of photos that you're going to put somewhere?
Yes, I'm going to put photos up. I'm going to put video up. I'm going to try and mash everything together, which I may need your assistance with, but we'll work about that later. And I've got hours of footage.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Shoot them across to me. I can put a sizzle reel together. Awesome. Big one that I want to know about. I don't know if you want to hang it out to later, but I want to know about the Sega Masters panel.
Yes, I will get to that one later.
Oh, all right. Bloody hell. Well, then hurry up.
We'll get to that one next. I'll finish up. I'll talk about some more of the cosplays.
Okay.
People bringing their kids and cosplaying with their kids.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. I've not really seen that before, where mum and dad's all dressed up and their little ones dressed up as well. Whether it be as Batman, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman was running around at one stage. You had crazy people with these, I don't know if you've seen them. They've been floating around these blow-up things. It looks like an alien's trying to drag someone away.
No.
That was a cool one. Some of the detail that people went into for Batman, Batgirl, sort of some of the guys from the Boys show.
Oh yeah,
there was a few of them floating around. It was just such a wide plethora, and it was everyone from just being dressed a little bit differently up to the Master Chief or League of Legends type things where you've got people completely covered head to toe. So it was all pretty cool.
I got a text message from a friend of mine that lives in Melbourne, and she attended PAX, and she sent me a text message with a video in it saying the things you miss out on if you don't go to PAX, and it's a video of Darth Vader playing the bass guitar out the front of PAX, busking.
That would not surprise me.
Hang on,
let's see. Would not surprise me at all.
That's Darth Vader playing the bass. Of course it is. Oh dear.
All right. Well, onto the Sega Masters, shall we?
Sure.
So the Sega Masters is since Spacey's. You'll have to remind me of the other guys.
Yeah, since Spacey's, which is Brian. There's Tim. There's Tim, and there's Nick.
Yeah, Tim, and Nick. That's right.
Yeah.
So before that kicked off, I got to meet Tommy Ted.
Yes.
Absolute top bloke. Really top bloke.
He comes across as a top bloke. Tell me he's amazing in person.
He's amazing in person.
Oh, that's great.
He's a great bloke. So I got to meet him. We were standing outside waiting to go in and having a bit of a laugh and whatnot, and then got to go into the EB Theatre where the Sega Masters were having their panel. So their panel revolved around their time on the Sega hotline back in the early to mid-90s.
Yep.
Involved. I've got some video. I did actually live stream it while it was on.
Yeah, I checked out some of that live stream after you'd finished it.
Nice. So I live streamed it, and then unfortunately, for whatever reason, my video kept playing up and would just turn off. So it turned off the live stream on itself. I just recorded most of the rest of it. I recorded one of Tim's stories that he speaks about, which was probably one. He said it was the story that was the worst thing that ever happened on the hotline.
Is that the one where he went to that lady's house?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a great story, that one.
It's a great story, and I've got a video of it.
I seriously can't believe that story, man. That is crazy.
Oh, no.
That's how people end up buried in the outback.
And the fact that they referred it to, they were questioning what story should you tell, and I think it was Brian that actually said the Terminator one.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the Terminator.
We were running down the street after him. Yeah.
For those listening that want to hear that story, Since Spacey's YouTube channel, he has one of his episodes of the Since Spacey show. It's the Sega Masters special. Go and check it out. He tells that story on there.
And I'll put something up on our channel for the panel as well, so you can have a look at what the guys were doing. It was a part. So beforehand, Since Spacey's and I were like, I was revving him up. So we've only met once previously, and the rest of the communication has been over Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And so I was revving him up, and then Tommy had joined in and rev him up as well because we were both going to be there. And halfway through, they're talking about cast your mind back to the mid-90s, and there was a game, I think it was a magazine, where they had Aladdin on the cover of this magazine. Now, when the picture came up, it immediately reminded me of it, so I actually brought it back to my attention. In this picture, there's Aladdin, Princess Jasmine, and the genie. So Aladdin and Jasmine are on the carpet, and then the genie's flying behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, whoever made it, Jasmine's looking straight out, Aladdin and the genie are looking down her top. Right? So they're talking about it, and Tim's up there and says, I honestly didn't see the problem with it. Before I could stop my mouth, I've just yelled out, that's because you dirty bastards were looking in the same spot. Got a bit of a laugh. Tommy has lost it and just cracking himself up. Spacey's shoots this filthy look towards me.
You got in trouble.
He's just sort of done this glare, and I've just gone, oh shit, I've been caught. Later on, I find out the lights were in his face. He knew where the sound was, but he didn't know who it was.
Right.
So I'm like, yes, I got away with that one. So we had a bit of fun. It was good. The stories were awesome. The questions that people were asking were awesome, and just the trip back down to sort of how these guys were doing things back in the 90s. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So it was very good to see.
Yeah, nice. And, it sounded like a bit of fun. That's good.
It definitely was. From there, so Tommy and I hung out for a while. The Sega Master guys, they were off into the nostalgia sort of area of PAX. Tommy and I sort of followed over that way because Tommy's very much into the Sega Mega Drive. That's his sort of...
he loves his retro stuff.
He loves his retro stuff. So I said, okay, come on, well, I've already had a quick look through here the day before. We'll go and have another look. So went back, had a look at the retro stuff. They were, they were playing Doom on the old IBM. I think it was the 286, 386.
Yeah, could have been. Probably wouldn't have run on a 286, but yeah.
No, I don't know. It was an old 90s PC, and they were doing a deathmatch tournament. I'm not a retro fan. I played it when it was new, and that was good enough for me. I don't get into it as much as a lot of people.
Yeah, you're a full snob.
Not a full snob. I just sort of go, yeah, that's cool. I'll sit down and play it, but I don't get that into it. This Doom was in one little corner of this retro free play area, and there was this crowd around them. And, people were cheering kills. They were cheering near misses. It was just, it just was awesome fun to see. Like, I'm probably going to talk a bit more about the feel than a lot of things tonight, because it was just, the whole weekend was about different people enjoying the same thing, but them all enjoying it in their own way. Yeah. And the way that people were cheering and clapping and getting right behind these two guys playing on the on Doom at the time. It was two guys probably in their early 20s playing, going nuts. When they got off, I just heard a little bit of their conversation, and it was hysterical. So they got off. They said, thanks. Everyone's gone, well done. And they're talking, they're obviously mates talking to each other. Jeez, man, that mouse movement was slow. It's like 20% of my mouse of what I got at home.
Well, the way it was set, the sensitivity.
I was an old ball mouse, mate. He didn't.
Is it? Oh. Right, yeah, good point.
It's an old mouse with the ball in it, and not to mention you're playing a game from 1994.
Well, mind you, old school Doom, like the original, back then when I played it, I didn't use a mouse.
No, this one was set up so the mouse could go. You couldn't go up and down, but it's side to side, so you could pan.
Yeah, that's how the original was. So the original game, I just used a keyboard. There was no mouse involved, and there was no aiming up and down. Or if they were up higher than you...
jumped.
What?
You jumped or you ran away.
Jumped? No. If they were up on a ledge, you didn't have to aim at them. You just shot. You fire, and your bullet, your projectile would aim up. Like it would... Sort of like an auto aim to go up. So as long as you aimed in line with them... The projectile would automatically go towards the enemy. You didn't have to actually look up to aim up on to enemies that were higher or lower than you. It was all automatic. So because you could use page up and page down, I think, to look up and look down, but that was like ridiculously hard. But before using the mouse to like full freely aim, there was just automatic. It was kind of like an auto aim. You still had to like aim left and right, but as for up and down,
you still had to line them up.
Yeah. So as for up and down, though, it was all automated. So that was how it worked back in the day. So these guys have obviously worked it out with a mouse. You may have been able to use a mouse. I don't know, but I never did.
No. All right. Well, before we get back into the main hall of stuff, some bit more retro. There was a whole lot of gaming sort of tournaments where you could play. You could do Fortnite. You could do some Doom stuff. I think they had Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Rocket League, and just all these tournaments that you could go in. There was one part that was a real eye opener for me. My brother likes to do this. I know you used to paint back in the day, but you didn't really play like Warhammer or anything like that, did you?
No.
So they had you had your main hall, and then behind that, and where all the retro stuff was as well, they had a tabletop hall where people would go in. I think you could either bring your own games in, or there was some set up there where you could actually go in and play tabletop games. No interest to me whatsoever. I used to think of it, I still probably do, that's like uber nerd.
Well, they wouldn't have let you in, would they?
Well,
you've got children.
No.
Clearly not a virgin anymore. Get out.
Oh, mate, you know what? I sort of the first day I was there, I spent probably 95% of the day in the main hall and wandering around in the convention center side, which was where all the panels and stuff were on. I didn't get to see as many panels as I wanted to, but that's just because of time more than anything else. So towards the end of the day, I thought, it's, everyone's starting to wind down. It's starting to slow down a bit. I'll go and have a look at this tabletop area. And that's where I found the guys doing the 3D printing that we spoke about beforehand.
Yeah.
There was, people selling dice. I didn't know there were billions of different dice and weighted and colors mean different things. And it's too much for me to get into. Then you had the people that were actually painting. So there's like 50 people sitting at tables painting different sort of characters.
Mm-hmm.
You've got people playing card games, people playing this. One person had a Kickstarter that was a different version of chess. Did you play much chess growing up?
Yeah,
I used to play a lot with my old man. Yeah,
I played a lot with my next door neighbour.
Oh, beautiful. So you've got you've got an idea of how chess works, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to take chess, right, and each piece can be split into two.
Okay.
So say you've got a pawn and you split it in two so that one half of the pawn moves at a diagonal like you normally would. You can then use the bishop that's behind that pawn, use half of that to join up with the pawn. Now you can move it either the way the pawn moves or the way the bishop moves. You can use it either.
Right.
So, and then say you wanted to move it to right up the other side, then disconnect it again and use it as just a pawn or whatever to make a checkmate. It adds this extra element. It sort of makes the game, it's supposed to make the game faster, and it just adds this extra element of thought to it.
God, sounds confusing.
I looked at it and watched, exceptionally confusing unless you see it in person. Once you see it in person, I could sort of work it out while I was watching someone play, and he goes, do you want to have a play? I went, do you want me to throw the board? Because that's what happens when I play chess. Which he sort of looked at me until he realised I was joking. But it does happen when I play chess. I get a little frustrated. It was a really cool idea, and it's the sort of things they're doing. But then you go to the next level, and the people playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh dear!
Dungeons and Dragons seems to have had this bit of a resurgence lately, or it's just getting a bit more visual. There's more visibility on it of late for whatever reason, and the amount of people that were in their own little world, sort of in this bubble, they had no idea what was going on around them. They did not care what anyone else thought of them, and they were just living in that moment and having so much fun.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but get drawn into it.
Well, that's the thing. Look, I mean, I look at it and think of the stigma that it has about being super nerds and all that. But if you really think about it, they're doing a lot more socializing than I do.
There was one group in particular that was about 6 of them playing, and they were set up like a panel, so sort of like a half circle shape facing out, and all had microphones over a speaker, so they were talking into a mic and a headset, same as we are now, and playing Dungeons and Dragons as if they were playing for a crowd.
Oh,
there was no one there to watch. Like I stopped and watched for a minute or two. I don't get it, so I kind of understand a little bit of the stuff, mainly from IT Crowd and watching that episode. But that's about my limit of Dungeons and Dragons. And again, these people were and like they were getting so into it, they were jumping, cheering out of their chair.
Yeah, I have no understanding of, like, I know that what they do, but I have no understanding of how it works.
It's they were enjoying themselves.
Oh, well, good for them. Good for them. And they're hanging out with 6 of their mates or 5 of their mates. So look,
5 of their mates. So
good on them. It's more. I don't even think I've got 6 people that I could ring up and get to come over. So
I think I'm in the same boat.
They're doing something right. So as much as it's not for me, good on them. And I will make jokes about it, but I do respect it. Good on them.
Yes, good on them. There was so much Magic the Gathering. My brothers tried to get me into Magic many, many times. I just say no, I don't want to know about it. People would stop. They'd be lining up to go and play, Call of Duty or Doom or one of the or just anything. You'd walk past and there'd be people sitting on the floor playing Magic the Gathering, just sitting there.
Passing the time.
just passing the time playing Magic. And it's
Wow.
like, and that's exactly what I did a few times. It's like, wow, there are literally thousands of people stomping past you. And, because everyone was there to enjoy gaming as a whole, there was no pushing, there was no shoving. Everyone was really nice. Everyone was really happy. So if someone sat down in this, they had like their little queue areas that you had to stay in.
Mm.
So if they sat down in there, they gave them the room to sit there and play Magic.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely brilliant.
As bizarre as it sounds, I mean, like, if you can, why not? It's no different to standing there and flicking through your Facebook feed on your phone. Arguably, it's better. A little bit more.
Oh, yeah. And they're sitting there talking, having a laugh.
Yeah.
There'll people in the pub playing it.
It's more social. It's more social.
Yeah. So Tommy, Brian's wife, and I had a few drinks on Saturday Arvo.
Yeah.
Which was good just to catch up, chat, get to know each other more face-to-face than we do online. And, yeah, there were people in there playing Magic. There were people playing many different things. It was pretty cool. Any questions on that side of things?
Oh, no, not really, but you are painting a very beautiful picture and a very good argument for why I should come next year.
Come next year? Yep. All right. I'm going to talk about 2 bits of tech. Now, the first bit of tech, I hopefully will have a whole lot more information on it later this week, but it's the Philips Hue lighting system. Now, you've got a colour-changing light in your ceiling, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Yes. So this is a new system that they've got that will plug into your PC, into your console, and it uses... So when your console or your PC outputs to a monitor, TV, whatever, it uses a certain style of code for its lighting, right? So you get the different textures and what's going on. So imagine you're playing Call of Duty, right?
Hang on, what? No, I don't get that. What are you talking about? Do you mean the signal for what's on the screen?
The signal on the screen, the way that the lighting is done in that signal, it's the code that's pushed through to do that, to make it happen.
Right. Okay, yep.
Okay, all right. So this system plugs into your PC or your console and acts as a midway point, and it can acts as a pass through, and it can also read that signal. So, for instance, say you're playing Call of Duty, right? Mm-hmm. Someone on the left-hand side of you is shooting. The left-hand side of your screen goes red so that you know that that's where you're getting shot from, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the light is just like a backlight for behind the monitor or something?
So they can work as backlights. They can talk to that light that you've got in the roof.
Yep.
And, so they will actually light up. So say you've got them sitting either side of your monitor and, facing the back wall or something.
Yeah.
Or you've got them sitting behind you on the floor or, on a chair, on a desk or whatever. And you're getting hit from that left-hand side, that light will actually come up and glow red.
Yeah.
And same as, if you're you can set it to do certain things. It will talk to the signal that's coming out of your console and whatnot. It works with the Razer Chroma stuff.
Yeah.
And, I had a really good talk to the people that were showing it. I had a bit of a play with it, playing... I'm saying a lot of ums tonight because I'm trying to recall things too frequently or more so than usual. I was playing Overwatch, and just the way that it all... The lights would just move and change with different things that you were doing. So you'd use a special, and they had it set up so that it flashed this blue light behind the screen, and it sort of glowed in this whole room that they had it in, which was all pretty cool. Being an ex-lighting designer, it was exceptionally awesome. Very nerdy, but really awesome. Make sense?
Yeah, brutally honest, I think it sounds like a bit of a wank to me.
Okay. You don't like... You're not a big fan of RGB, are you?
No, I love RGB, but I appreciate RGB.
You don't have RGB all through your PC.
Yeah, I do actually.
RGB. Well, then why is it sitting down underneath everything?
Because I don't care.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say.
But I've got an RGB light strip behind my desk as well.
Yeah, and you've got them underneath your couches as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this thing can apparently talk to that.
But why?
But why not?
Because
why do you have a light strip under your couch?
I don't fucking know. It was.
Well, there you go. There's the answer right there.
It's just,
Because you can. That's what this is for. Because you can.
Oh, dear. It just sounds like something else that'll stop working and give me the shits. Oh, dear.
Well, like I said, I'll have more information as it comes up. So they're going to send me through some details on it shortly, and it will. I'll be sharing that with everyone as I get it. So,
all right. Well,
I think it's cool.
I'll delete this part out of the show. Oh yes, no. My partner Lucas, yeah, he's a bit of an advocate for RGB, and then there's me going.
Lucas, what's Lucas?
Sounds like a wank.
Funnily enough, the guy that was showing it off, he's the one who knew me. He's the one who said, "Snoogs, how you doing?" When I walked past. So that was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, I'm just being skeptical. I'll just replace it with this. Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome,
yeah,
dude. Let me know when you get more info on that, will you? Oh dear.
All right, I will let you know. Okay, well let's go on to something that I reckon you'll be a bit more excited about.
Yeah, what's this other bit of tech?
Nvidia ray tracing.
Okay.
Okay, so do you know much about ray tracing? I actually know what it is now.
Yeah, because I told you.
No, but I know what it is from their technical point of view, because the people there told me. I don't remember. Did you tell me? You asked
me on the podcast like 2 weeks ago, what is this ray tracing? And I told you what it was. And you went, oh, cool, okay. Awesome. Now I know what it's all about.
All right. Well, now I know more, and now I've actually seen it in action. Okay. I have seen it in action with the game Control.
Yeah.
I have seen it in action with Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfenstein Youngblood, I was not allowed to take any video or any photos of, but it has been released. Like the information's been released that it's coming, but they haven't actually released the update to make it effective yet.
Yeah.
The other one that I have something like 4.5 gig worth of capture on is Minecraft.
With ray tracing?
Minecraft with ray tracing turned on.
Yeah.
Yes. So being that these machines that they were playing on were stupidly OP to play Minecraft, they had a real-world texture pack on, and with this ray tracing turned on, you could flick through on or off just to see the difference. The way that this world looked, I know it's only Minecraft. Minecraft's, it is what it is. It's very basic. It's been the same.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not. Yeah, I know. It's but just the way that this ray tracing works, and it changes. So you go into an area. It's much easier to talk about when there's video. So I will do my best to get some video up on this section as quickly as possible. And it just completely changes the way that the lighting works within an area. So things like the glow from lava. So you can be down where now if you find lava, it just lights up the room, right? So say you've got a section where you build a bridge across lava, the whole thing's lit up. Now, with this ray tracing, it'll actually light up the sides, and it'll look like, like light's supposed to work. Light doesn't bend all the way around. It bounces off things. So it will just sort of give this glow, and just the way that it all works. Like I said, it's much easier to see it work. And I do have a lot of video that I was allowed to capture for it. And it's just, I've got to admit, it just makes everything leaps and bounds better.
Yeah. Yeah, well, look, I am a very big advocate for lighting in video games, and that's what generally will give you a realistic feel to a game, is correct lighting. If you take lighting away and shading, think graphics, even the best-looking video game, the graphics will look pretty bland. It's all about the lighting, and that's what ray tracing is. It's essentially what Radicus has put in the chat here. Ray tracing is just better lighting, and it is. It's all about lighting and how lighting reacts off different textures, whether it be reflected, whether it would be like bent, whether it would be absorbed, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, ray tracing is just going to make lighting better in a game, which is going to make them all look beautiful.
Yes. And it gives it works on refraction as well as reflection. It works so instead of it in games currently without ray tracing, they're very good at hiding how the lighting's done. So for a reflection or something, it won't be a real reflection. It'll be something that they've put in. Whereas with ray tracing, it works on a real reflective surface.
Yeah.
because it's coming from a singular point, and it's that one point of light and how that reacts.
Yeah, well, we won't be able to fully appreciate ray tracing until next-gen consoles come out, because unless you feel like upgrading to a 20 series or an RTX graphics card in your PC, we can't use it.
Yes, well, the PCs that we were running, I think they were i7s with 2080.
Yeah, so the new beast. Yeah, the
new beast. And so when I have a look at my graphics card, and I've got the 1060, I think it is, and that's sort of like, yeah, that's a decent sized graphics card. And then I have a look at a 2080 and go, wow, that's just massive. And yeah, it looked absolutely brilliant. Everything about Wolfenstein, I won't go into too much because I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but just boom, explosions.
There's an embargo on light in a game, is there?
No, there's no embargo on it. It's just that because I couldn't take photos or anything.
Yeah, but they had restrictions on lighting. Oh my god.
Yes. That was with Nvidia, and that was with one of the guys from Nvidia from the States, so from the US. He had come out, and I think he was the marketing manager of Southeast Asia, like the Oceania, whatever it is called.
Oceanic or
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oceanic
I know
region.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it was really good. Just they actually got to show us through it all, and like I said, they let us have a bit of a play with a few different things. They've got a whole series of notebooks coming out, which are designed for creators. The graphics and everything, while they've got a lot of punch, they're not designed for gaming. They're designed for that real grunt when trying to render a video, for instance, or making a 3D object or something like those.
Yeah.
So they were pretty cool. I think that's it for the major stuff. There was the usual plethora of game gear there. M-Wave was there. Logitech was there. They had an ESL series. They had PUBG rounds with Omen, which is the gaming offshoot of HP, I just found out. Rig was there. Bluemouth was there. Oh, Koch Media.
Oh, yeah.
Koch Media. Yeah, so Koch Media they've just sort of started doing a bit more in regards to distribution and whatnot. They had WB games there. They had a SpongeBob game. They had Destroy All Humans, which the Destroy All Humans trailer playing Rammstein the entire time was just awesome. They had a few different bits and pieces. They had Shadowbringers. Another one called Outlaws, a SpongeBob game, and SpongeBob actually looks kind of fun because I'm a twisted SpongeBob fan because he's a nut job.
Did you see any actual geese on the loose?
No.
Because I actually saw a photo on Twitter of an actual goose loose at PAX, and the comment on the tweet was like, "This is some seriously good marketing."
So I didn't actually see the Untitled Goose Game there.
Oh, really?
Oh, sorry, I did. It was in the guys were there from it, but they didn't have their own stand. They teed up with I think it was it was Alienware.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Alienware, and you could go and sit up on a stage thing and play, the Goose Game for a little bit. And then there was pubs around Melbourne that had signs they put out the front that said "No geese allowed."
Yeah, I've seen tweets with that. That's so good.
So everyone, that's really taken everything by storm, hasn't it?
Oh, hasn't it? And for good reason. Yeah. It's so good. Oh, great game.
There was lots of collectible stuff, lots of comic stuff. There was a couple of things that I wanted to actually get out, which is I'm going to put some more information as it comes through. But have you ever heard of the Australian STEM Video Game Challenge?
No.
Okay. I have not heard of it either. This was given to me and had a bit of a talk through with it. So it's supported by Creative Victoria. The person who I was speaking to works with Acer as well. It's also supported by Big Ant, Roccat, IGEA, ScienceWorks, PAX, and GDOO or something. So what it is, it's a video game challenge where students from years 5 to year 12, they've got to create and code a video game. So what they're doing, they're given a theme. They've then got to work out what that theme means to them and create a video game surrounded by it. The one that worked, the one that won this year. So you've got so many different things. People learning physics to work on an Angry Birds style game. The game that won this year was something a simple sheep herding game. You're a dog that you've got to run around the stream. You've got to run around the screen and herd sheep. But the way that they've actually done the physics of each one of these individual sheep is it's borderline broken, but it works like a sheep because
it makes
sheep
it
is stupid.
fun. Yes, they are morons because my parents have sheep and I've grown up with sheep and they are stupid and smart at the same time though.
Yes. But, these things will just go off in a tangent when you're trying to act. You're a sheepdog trying to get them in. And so what this does is it teaches the kids, and it removes that stigma of gaming being a negative thing for children to do. And each group is teed up with a mentor. So you get a lot of teachers that'll go, I don't know what I'm doing with that sort of stuff. I won't know how to do coding. I don't have time to learn it. The teachers are just there for project management. So the kids have got to put through, they've got to put together a diary, which is 60% of the total mark. The game itself is 40%. So this diary is sort of like a logbook of what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Yeah.
So then you're also teed up with a mentor that helps you with the coding. You can use any coding software that's, there's a lot of coding stuff out there that's freeware that you can get your hands of. I think even like Unreal Engine and that's free to download. And just use. So you've got all these people, and there was one that they were telling me about was someone whose dad was a programmer, and his dad was mentoring the kid. The kid just wanted to do something to keep his mind off. He was having some issues with school, and this was something that when he was finished school and schoolwork for the day, this is what he did. And dad mentored him through it. He was in year 7 at school, hadn't studied physics yet. So he went and watched YouTube videos and learnt physics and was doing physics at a 9th grade level so that he could then put that knowledge that he learnt into a video game.
Yeah, YouTube is fantastic.
I know, right? So
I'm a 3D printing moderate now. Well, I wouldn't say guru, but I'm moderately skilled 3D printer now, thanks to YouTube.
Thanks to YouTube. Yeah. So this is all this sort of stuff. So what's it? Museums of Victoria, in partnership with ACER, are proud to present a showcase of Australian STEM Video Game Challenge winners. So that's if anyone wants to go and have a look that's listening to us at the moment, stemgames.org.au. So that's STEM Games, GAMES.org.au. Mentor registrations and everything open 18th of Feb next year. So get in and have a look. I'll be talking to my kids' school about it, and hopefully we can get some more people involved because, like yourself, Luke, I hadn't heard anything about this, and I think it's pretty cool.
Cool.
Before I get on to the sort of the indie stuff, the PAX Rising, Bethesda, like I said, they didn't have a gate, like a stand, so to speak, but they had the queue hall. The queue hall is exactly what it sounds like. It is a hall to stand in the dark and line up and wait to get in.
Yeah, right.
But it's riveting, absolutely riveting to be crammed in there. And Bethesda put on a show for it. I thought absolutely brilliant. So they had Fallout 76 playing and Doom were the two that I saw. And watching Doom in the dark with heavy metal music absolutely blaring, that's already a win for me. But then they throw in fire, and they had pyrotechnics and smoke machines going off while the Doom trailer and gameplay stuff is playing, standing in this room. So it was a good way to pass the time waiting in line. I just thought I'd mention that. There is a video on my Twitter if anyone wants to have a look at it.
I'll have to go. No, I'm going to have to go and sit down for a bit and go through your Twitter because I've been flat out last week. Yes.
There's a bit of stuff there. I do, like I said, I've got a lot more to put up, but we'll put that up. There's a bit on the Facebook page as well. There's a few bits and pieces over there that I just put up on that to give people a bit of an update of what was happening. The last bit is probably where I spent the most time. It is the PAX Rising section. So the PAX Rising is all the indie games, all the local developers.
Yeah, so what sort of weird and wonderful homegrown games did you see?
I saw the guys from Heist.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a game that I've spoken about on the podcast. I've played it many, many times. I've live streamed it. It was really cool for me to be just walking past. I didn't actually realise where they were because it was laid out very well, but they were sort of back to back. So if you walk past looking at one, you didn't see who was on the back unless you turned around. So I was just walking past. I was looking at something else, and the bloke actually, the guy that's one of the developers actually grabbed me and said, "Hey, Pat, how are you?" And so he'd actually been in watching my stream, which was really cool.
Yeah. So how do I don't even know what this game looks like, because if I type in Heist video game, it comes up with Payday. I don't know what this game is. How do I even see?
Okay, heist-game.com. So it's they call it a noir sneaking game. So it's no conflict.
Is it like an isometric game?
Yes.
Okay. So
you've got to sneak in. You use the shadows. You use the light. You use distraction to get in, get what you're trying to, get your treasure and get out. And it's pretty much what it boils down to is just a puzzle game, really, to try and work out how to get around things. There's no set way to play it. Each person that plays it can play it differently.
Yeah. Because I wanted to have a look at it, but I couldn't find it for the life of me after the last show that you talked about it, because it's such a vague name, Heist. So I was just like, what is this bloody game? And after your recommendation of Erica, I'm a little bit more sus on things you say are good.
Yeah. I still enjoy it. Company's called Atomizer Games, if anyone's wondering. They I believe they're Adelaide-based off the top of my head. No, sorry, Melbourne. Yeah, so Melbourne-based company. Got to have a chat with them and have a watch of a few people playing it. So that was really cool. But I've talked about that on a fair bit of podcasts already. There is one that really stood out to me, and I spent a good hour with this person talking through it. MightyKingdom.com, game called Conan Chop Chop.
Right.
Okay. It's a roguelike game. The art style is Cyanide and Happiness.
Oh, okay, yep.
So what they were looking for was someone to do a Conan style game, but they didn't want it to have the Conan type feel. The violence, the gore, and that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. But they still wanted to have that Conan look. So you've got Conan the Barbarian, and it's literally a top-down sort of isometric rogue-like procedurally generated dungeon crawler, but not turn-based. That makes sense. So you run around the map, right? So
right.
you've got to go. What you've got to do is you've got to run around the map, killing bad guys to get to the dungeon, to kill the boss, right? Mm-hmm. Each time you load into this map, it's a different way that you need to go. So there's lots of replayability there. The game itself, you can go to the central hub, you can spend your coins that you get from killing the enemies to get upgraded gear, to get better health, to do all that sort of stuff, and then you can move along. It's got up to 4-player co-op. They were originally going to do couch co-op, but realised that more and more people are wanting to do it over the internet.
Yeah.
Which when I was speaking to them as well, I said, you know what, it's terrible. The 3 people that I play mostly with live within, 10 minutes of me, and we talk to each other more than we see, face to face. So it's just, unfortunately, the way of the world at the moment, the way with time, that's how it's going.
Okay, so it kind of has the graphical, the art style is slightly different, but still overall is like that Don't Starve.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen Don't Starve.
We played it together, you belter.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Don't Starve together. Yeah.
Yeah. I see, that's how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. We didn't have a good time, but yeah. No, you remember the one? You remember the one?
Yeah.
We were
didn't remember
picking grass and falling in holes,
yep.
And yeah, it's kind of like that, the gameplay.
So it's, I was playing it with the guy that was making it. It looks like it's going to be out, I believe he said February. But watch this space, because it's another one that I'm on the list to get updates for. That should be pretty cool. It was part of a stand for the government of South Australia. Was one of the weirdest emails that I got in the lead up to PAX.
Okay.
So the government of South Australia, they're looking at building the South Australian gaming community and having a bit more presence. So they were there with a whole lot of other people and a whole lot of different games. So Conan was one of them. What was the other one? Wrestle Sports Dunk, which is kind of like it's a brawler, but everyone's like a rectangle-shaped creature person thing. That's a lot of fun. Another one called Tech Hunter, which is another non-competitive game. What you do is you're crashed on an alien planet. You've got, I think, 4 pieces of tech that are all sort of intermingled with each other. And what you have to do is you fly around the planet looking for lost, treasure, items, things to fix your main ship. So you'll use a carrier type thing to fly to an area. You'll then get in a buggy, a buggy will drop out of the main carrier to then look around on the ground, and then I think you can dig and something else. And that's sort of, you go looking for things. That's in pretty early development at the moment, but it's people doing it part-time. And it actually looks really cool.
Nice. All right. Was there anything that stood out there that you reckon I would have been keen on specifically?
You specifically? Blowfish Studios had... they had some really cool stuff floating around. Game called Infliction, which is... It's got the same sort of feel as that stupid horror one that I can't play. What's the horror one where you're sneaking through the hospital with the camera?
I've gone completely blank. Outlast.
Yeah, it's got that sort of feel. It's a murder mystery, and you're trying to solve it. But it was hysterical. He was telling me about the QR people going through and playing the game, and he sits pretty close to them, and then all of a sudden he'll be jumping out of his chair because someone, 2 cubicles over is screaming their head off.
Yeah, it looks good. I actually think, good call here. I actually think I would like this.
It's I won a copy, so yeah, I'll set it up on Steam so you can have a crack as well.
Yeah, cool.
It's you've got to sort of, you go through, and it's same sort of deal as Outlast, like your first person, and you're looking through different things. So you've got to puzzle solve by searching through drawers to find a key, and then you find all little bits of information while you're searching through those drawers as well.
It has flushable toilets.
There you go.
Winning.
So winning. Another mob called Drop Bear Bites.
Mm-hmm.
I can't for the life of me remember the name of the game, but it was a cool sort of survival set in the outback. My surprise of the show. Now, picture this, right? You are a robot, and so your goal is to overtake mankind. But the way for you to overtake mankind is to pretty much put on a meat suit. So you're dressed up like a human, but you're really a robot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the way that this game come about was that when people were learning how to do coding and learning how to do animation, one of the first things that a lot of people do is they do stupid things with the faces of their characters. And, they'll make them stretch and do funny things, especially when they're supposed to be doing talking animations or something like that. So this game is called Speaking Simulator.
Oh, yeah.
You are a robot.
Yeah.
Okay. I had way too much fun with this game. I had way more than I thought I would. I was laughing my ass off the entire time doing it. You're a robot. You're dressed up like a human. It is your job when you're playing to move the face with the mouse. So you'll drag the jaw, move the cheeks, move the lips, and form words. Now, while you're doing this, on the left-hand side of the screen, there's a picture of the inside of your mouth with your tongue. And there are buttons inside that you've got to move your tongue in a certain way to hit these buttons with WSAD. So you're moving everything around. You've got to try and move the facial features to form words. And it tells you how to do it, but you've got a time frame to do it while you're talking to someone, or they start to become suspicious of you. And it's just, I'm sitting there playing this, laughing away to myself, because when you get it wrong, things start to go wrong with your character. Like if you're moving the tongue the wrong way, you'll start to spit teeth out. You'll start, like, you you actually knock teeth out of it.
Oh, okay.
It start to spit out of it. You get, like a smoke will start coming out of the nostril, or, something weird because you've pulled the face too far this way or whatever. And it's really cleverly done and a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit on that. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. So that was pretty cool. Couple of others that I had to play with. One called Little Reaper. So the mob's called Little Reaper Games. The Grim Reaper goes on holiday, and you're a little Grim Reaper. That's the assistant. That is, you knock over a big jar full of souls, and now it's your job to go and collect them all again. And it's a little cutesy sort of side scroller platformer, which was actually quite a lot of fun and very well made. Like everything that I played was exceptionally well done. There was nothing, cheap about it. It was all really well done. And last one, which is coming to VR everywhere. So all the VR that you can get on PC as well as PlayStation VR. Aspire 1 VR Operative. So, Blood and Truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to that, but you're a remote pilot of a drone type thing. But the drones are, a body, a humanoid body. And as you go through, but the way that you upgrade is you take over another body, and that's got more skills, more, strength, whatever. And it's full virtual reality. And it's same sort of thing like Blood and Truth, like a spy operative type thing.
Yeah, so it should be good then, if that's what it's been likened to.
Yeah, well, that's what I sort of likened it to them when I was speaking with them. They went, yeah, that's pretty much up the same sort of alley.
Well, it sounds like you've had a bloody good time down there. I haven't heard anything bad about it. Was anything rubbish?
No.
No? Oh, well.
Not at all.
That's a little bit different to the sort of feeling that I got the last time we were at an EB Games Expo, where it was starting to get a little bit poor. But that's great. I think I'll definitely make the effort to go down next year.
Yeah, it was well worth it. The highlight was definitely hanging out and getting a chat with the Sega Master guys, and of course Tommy, meeting him. So like I said, absolutely top bloke. It's good to catch up with him. Unfortunately, I was trying to catch up with Carnage, missed him.
Oh, Carnage was there, was he?
Yeah, he was down there. Stupid me. We were trying to set something up, and he ended up going off with someone else and going to the pub or whatever. I didn't realise until later on that I was dead set because I knew he was there, right? And funnily enough, I don't have many tattoos, but I do have them on my forearms. There were not a lot of people there that were tattooed, just in general. So Carnage is very tattooed.
Very tattooed.
Yeah. So he's well done. So I just sort of kept an eye out, thinking, okay, that I'll be able to spot the tats.
Surely.
Stupid me, though, didn't actually put it together until later that I was actually looking for the high vis as well. So whenever Carnage streams, he streams with his high vis. Yeah, no. He wasn't wearing it, but it was just every time that I have seen him on his stream, he's been in his high vis jacket.
He wears the high vis vest. That's right.
Yeah. So it didn't even put it two and two together until I was messaging him later on Twitter. It's like, yeah, sorry, man, I'm heading out, have fun. And then I sort of went, do you know what? I was keeping an eye out for a high vis all day. I don't know why, but I was in the back of my head.
Yeah, tattoos probably would have been a better chance because I don't think he would have taken that off.
No. But I got to meet some people that I know through Twitter, through streaming, through the Division type stuff. I got to catch up with, I got to see Barjo again, which is always cool. As for, I saw that MMA fighter. What's his name? I don't know who it is because I don't follow the MMA, but
there's a few.
Yeah. No. He's like, I think he's an Aussie one that's just won something.
Oh, mate, I don't know. No, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, Mayfair. Anyway, he's doing stuff with, I believe he's doing things with Bethesda at the moment. Okay. Sort of part of their, part of the Doom thing or something. But so he was floating around. I got to play a heap of the different indie games. I drank lots and lots of water because there were so many people there. I walked so much. It was a really good time all around, actually.
Yeah, good.
It was quite funny too because my wife came along with me and got back to the hotel on the Friday night, and she'd been, doing nothing all day, just laying in bed and sleeping and relaxing. So I've walked back into the hotel absolutely rat shit because I did not stop all day. I had organised pretty much back to back the entire day full of people to catch up with. And I walked in and she's like, okay, so where are we going for dinner? What? And just fell into bed. It's like, yeah, just give me half an hour. And we ended up finding a ice bar. Have you ever been to one of these?
No.
I know it's not exactly gaming related, but there were games inside to play, like they had air hockey thing. This ice bar is literally in a freezer, right? So you walk in, they give you a jacket, like a big sort of poncho jacket thing that's all fur lined inside. And you go into this freezer where it is between -5 and -10 degrees, and everything in there is made of ice. So the bar's made of ice, the chairs are made of ice, the tables, every bit of furniture. They had games that were all, like they had an air hockey table that was completely made out of ice.
Do you think maybe you could call it ice hockey?
You maybe could, yeah.
This sounds incredibly uncomfortable.
It was actually really cool.
I believe you.
Didn't even know when I went there. No, it was just a different experience. It was not uncomfortable at all. So you're sitting there in -5 to -10, drinking pretty much extremely strong spirits, and quite enjoyable actually.
Yeah, to warm yourself up. What'd you have for dinner? Frozen water.
Didn't have dinner there. Had dinner next door at the pub.
Oh, good.
Yes. So I just had a couple of drinks there, and it was nice. It was just something different. It's not something I'm going to do with two very young kids in tow. So it was nice just to do something a little bit different. It was pretty cool. Other than that, mate, it was great. I'm not flying that airline ever again.
All right, dude.
Delayed on the way down, mate, and I'm the only one getting delayed on the way back.
Oh, okay. Oh well, It didn't crash. That's the main thing.
Yeah. I got here. I think that's about it, mate. Kind of still getting a lot of stuff, like so much information over the past 3 days, and it's just been an absolute whirlwind. But I can't say how good it was enough. It's something that the only thing that probably would have made it better is the rest of us being there together.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, we'll try and fix that for next year.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. But yeah, look, I don't know. We probably come back to some stories in the coming weeks, and make sure if you think of some cool stories, chuck them on Twitter or something, or on our Discord or something like that. Chuck some photos up in our Discord too if you can. That'd be good.
Yes, I probably should do that.
Yeah.
I've got a few.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I'll start that tonight. So if anyone hasn't checked yet, check out the PAX channel in our Discord. You'll see the picture of that Roomba game where you murder people and then clean up as a Roomba.
Yeah, I've got that game.
I couldn't believe it. I was just sitting there watching it. I'd never heard of it before. I was sitting there watching it. I'm like, this is the most twisted but cool thing I've ever seen. All right. Well, that's it for the show then. So I will just wrap up. Do you have any last words you want to get across? Or I kind of forgot that I'm the host then and just went, okay, let's wrap it up.
I'm going to keep talking. All right. No, I'm good. I don't really have much to inject into the week. Obviously, I didn't go to PAX and I've been away. So I've been away doing non-gaming stuff. So it's probably a good week just to talk about PAX and your experiences. And we'll probably have something a little bit better or for me anyway, a bit better to share next week.
No worries. Well, on that note, make sure you do check out the PAX channel over in the Discord. And also, if you want to, chuck us a follow on Twitter, which is at Snoogavision. Greg, I hope you're having fun down in Canberra. Enjoy it. I reckon he's smoking weed.
Nobody has fun in Canberra. Unless he's on the drugs. Maybe he is.
Yeah, well, it's legal now, mate. So that's the way. That's one way to have fun.
Is it legal down there, is it?
It is legal now, yeah.
Oh,
I think there's someone trying to like change it back. But, yeah, there's some specific law that's changed where you're allowed to have whatever down there. Yeah.
Oh, well, good luck to him.
Good luck to them all. All righty. Well, in closing, thank you very much to everyone that has listened to the show, and especially those that are still listening this far along. A super special thanks to our live listener, Radicus. Hats off to you, mate. Thanks for hanging about. Luke, thank you for joining me, mate.
No worries. Thank you.
Hopefully you've had a bit of fun. To all of our listeners, feel free to continue any of the topics that we've discussed on this show on our Facebook page or Discord channel. I should probably get rid of the Facebook page on there because we're not there much. But if you are, let us know. So, because otherwise Facebook's just dying off slowly. But if you're still a big user of it, let us know. Get in touch with us. If you want to get in touch with us directly, you can shoot us an email at info@theagexp.com. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit up our website, which is www.theagexp.com. Links, as always, are in the podcast show notes and description. That is all from me. As always, I'm Snoogs.
I've been Lucas.
Have a good one. See you.
See ya. Oh, yeah, there was only just the two of us, wasn't there?
There's only the two of us this week. Yeah.
See you guys. Righto, that's the end of the show. Does anybody listen to the show this far along? I don't know, but if you do, join our exclusive Discord club known as the Agents of Age. Just join our Discord channel using the link in the show description and comment the phrase, "I came here to party," and you will gain Agent of Age status. Subscribe to this podcast using the links to the things in the show description notes, and if you are listening, know this, we love you. See you next time on the official podcast of the Aussie Gamers Experience.